I'm going to talk you through the setup for your ECG circulation lab. We're going to run three electrodes again for the ECG. You've got a red, black, and green electrode. The green electrode is your ground, and it's going to be located just superior to the right medial malleolus. Your black electrode is going to go just inferior to the right clavicle, and your red electrode just inferior to the left clavicle. Make sure you have your electrodes plugged in and plugged into the data acquisition box. The final step is to put on your pulse plethysmograph, this little guy, snugly on your finger, and plug it in to the data acquisition box as well. In LabScribe, you're going to open Settings, choose Human Heart and ECG Circulation. And when you're all hooked up, you can start running your tracing. This is what it looks like. Your top channel is your ECG. The middle channel is your pulse wave. And the bottom channel is a pulse integral. We're not going to be using that for this particular lab. Run it till you get a clean tracing, and then you can stop it so you can take some measurements. And the first measurement we're going to do is our beat period. So you're going to place one cursor at the peak of the R wave. They're pretty identifiable. And the second cursor at the peak of an adjoining R wave. And we want to know the time difference between the two. So we can find that up in the right corner, T2 minus T1. And there's my time difference between those two R peaks. I'm going to slide my cursors down, and I'm going to measure the beat period for the next R to R interval. And I'm going to take that measurement from the top right corner again. We can use that beat period to calculate heart rate. Now this is my pulse wave, so it's pretty identifiable there. And a measurement that we can take with our pulse wave is going to be our R pulse interval. So I'm going to put one cursor at the peak of the R wave, the second cursor at the peak of the pulse wave, and I'm going to measure my time difference there. That is my pulse transit time, otherwise known as my R pulse interval. I'm going to slide down and do the same thing again. One cursor at the peak of the R wave, one cursor at the peak of the pulse wave, and again I'm going to take a time measurement there. How long is that blood taking to get from my heart down to my fingertip? I can also measure amplitude of the pulse wave. So I put one cursor at the bottom of the pulse wave and the second cursor at the top, and I'm going to measure amplitude here. This is V2 minus V1. And it's going to be a measurement in volts. I'm going to slide my cursors down again, and again I can measure amplitude of that pulse wave. And I'm going to find it in this right-hand side, V2 minus V1, measurement in volts there.